And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the cream of the crop, my top 10 best female and male anime characters. And we're going to kick it off with my top 10 best female characters. Now, you're going to notice a few female characters are left out on this list that you guys might have felt like were the best of the best. But hey, this is my choices, this is my opinion of which ones are the best. If you feel like I left one out, put in the comments about which one you felt were, the best female characters, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, before we begin this list, I do have, just like in my top 10 worst, I had a dishonorable mention for each one of them. I have an honorable mention as well for my best of the best. And the honorable mention that I'm going to give is Yuno Gasai from Mirai Nikki. Now, some of you might be wondering, why is she not in the top 10 list? And some of you are wondering, wait a minute, why is she even an honorable mention? She's a despicable character. But the reason that she's on this list is because I really felt for her unconditional love for Yuki. Yes, she's done a lot of despicable things. Yes, she is insane as hell and I wouldn't trust her around me. But truly, she cared deeply for Yuki. And not only that, we get a great character development of her character and we understand why she does the things she does and the shit that she's been through. I mean, she's been tormented as a kid, and I sort of understood her more and more as the series developed, and it made her a more understandable character, and I liked her a little more. And now we kick off the list with number 10, Rei from Evangelion. Now, it's no secret that my favorite type of anime girl is the quiet, timid, shy girl. And Rei really defines this type of girl. In fact, I believe that she is the genesis of the quiet, shy, timid girl. Every girl that came after her that was a quiet, timid, shy girl kind of modeled themselves after Rei. Not only that, but I really enjoyed the unspoken bond between Shinji and Rei. It was such a delight to see, and you really see her like open up when she's around Shinji. And I really like that about this character, and you learn more about her, and she's just so damn cute. I can't help it. And now number 9 on the list is Celti from Durara. You could say that when I first saw Celti, I was head over heels. Yeah, that wasn't good. What I love about this character is that she's a badass with a heart. Like, she can kick some ass, but she really does care about, human nature, and she does really care about other people. Not only that, but she's a strong and independent woman, and I really liked her relationship with, I believe his name was Shira. Their relationship in the anime was such a delight to see, and she's just a delight to see. And what's even more amazing is that for a character without a head, I really related and empathized with this character. And even when I saw her in the anime, I didn't even notice she had no head. She had so much personality, and the animators, the creators, the writers, they really put a lot of emotion in this character, and I really liked her for that. Number 8 is Botan from Yu Yu Hakusho. She is a great counterbalance to Yusuke's surly and gruff attitude. She's always positive, always uplifting, always caring, always optimistic. In fact, for a woman whose job it is to lead people into the next life and she sees death all the time, she always has a smile on her face. She's always positive, and I really like that about her. And she's so witty and funny. She can make any bad situation from bad to better, and that's why I really liked her character. Number 7 is Remy from Black Lagoon. I don't even need to describe this woman. All I have to do is show you a picture and you can already tell why she's on this list. She is a fine, sexy, gun-wielding, badass, independent, and strong-willed woman. What's not to love? But not only is she a badass, but she's a really relatable and well-developed character. I mean, there were moments where I really related to her character. I understand where she was coming from, how she became what she became, and I really just enjoyed her. And underneath all that badassery is a really caring person, and I like that about Remy. Number 6 is Haru Suzumiya from, you guessed it, The Melancholy of Haru Suzumiya. Now, like I mentioned in my review, in a perfect world, this is the girl that I would love to date. Out of all the girls on this list, this is the one girl that I would love to date because there will never be a dull moment with this girl. She's eccentric, exciting, outspoken, bombastic, energetic, never dull, always fun, and the list goes on. Now, a lot of people may think, and I've heard a lot of people say this, that she comes off as very arrogant, she's very selfish, and yes, she is. She can get on your nerves sometimes, but on the plain and simple fact that she is never boring, never dull, always entertaining, and she has quite a development to her. I just fell in love with her the minute I saw her. For a guy that's really into like exciting things, she is the pure definition of excitement at every turn. Number 5 is Lucy or Niu from Elfen Lied or Lied, however you want to pronounce it. I really love this character for the main fact that she is such a damaged character who's just looking for acceptance in the world. Now, a lot of people's first impression when they see Lucy is, oh, this girl's a bitch, she's killing everybody, she cares about nobody. But that's a really superficial look into this character because she's much deeper than that. And one thing that kept her away from the worst list is that she actually did feel remorse for all the bad things she's did. In the last episode, she really expressed her guilt and her sorrow for committing all these heinous acts, and she was just looking for forgiveness, looking for acceptance in a world that really just shunned her and pushed her to the side. And for that, her development was handled very well, and I fell in love with this character. And although from the outside she looks like this ruthless killing machine, deep inside her, she's just a fragile little girl who's looking for acceptance in the world. And that's why I really love this character. The depth and the emotion and the layers that this character brought out is why she's number 5. And speaking of well-developed and layered characters, we got number 4, Homura Akemi from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. This girl has been through so much, and her development was handled so perfectly. Now, when you first see Homura, you really don't relate or care about this character because she has this kind of bland disposition. She doesn't really smile, she doesn't really express herself. But truly, the reason she does that is because she's trying to hide her true self in this protective, emotionless disposition because she's trying to protect her true feelings. She doesn't want to get hurt again. This character's been through so much. It brought me to tears to see how much suffering this character has been through. And yet, after seeing all the things that she's been through, all the experience that she had, her determination and will to continue is one to admire. Just the drive of this girl to continue on her path of keeping Madoka from becoming a magical girl was one to admire and emulate after. She had such the will to continue after being through so much shit. And I fell in love with her. And she had a great development from this really naive high school girl to this strong, willful woman. And that's why I really love this character, and she is number 4. And now we get to the top 3, which is not going to be any surprise. It's still the same top 3 from my original list, but for the sake of saying them, I want to talk about them in more detail. Starting off with number 3, Lum from Yurisen Yatsura. She is the first of the 3 girls that made my heart skip a beat. When I first saw her, I instantly fell in love. She is so gorgeous. Not only that, but she is a strong-willed woman. I mean, she puts up with the most lecherous and most abysmal person on the face of the planet. That there deserves some praise. Because if that was me, I would have been like, fuck that guy. I'm not dealing with him anymore. But she puts up with them, and she finds the good in Ataru that not a lot of people would see. And I really like that about her. She's able to see the good side of people. And she's so kind, so caring, so heartfelt, and she is sexy as hell. I mean, I know she's an anime character, but still, that character is sexy. And the sheer fact that she cares so unconditionally for Ataru, and how she puts up with all of his terrible ways, and how she can see the good in Ataru, that is why she's number 3, and that's why I love her so. I feel like my heart's about to give out because now I'm talking about my top 2, and the first one I'm gonna mention, of course, is Belle Dandy. This girl is such a sweetheart. She is so nice, so caring, so gentle. What more can I say about this character that I have not already mentioned so many times before? This character is so loving. I love her to death. And just like Lum, Belle Dandy cares unconditionally for Keiichi. Now, she doesn't have to put up with the shit that Lum puts up with Ataru. Keiichi's a much more nicer, much more sweeter guy than Ataru will ever be. But still, her unconditional love and her caring nature is why she is number 2 on this list. And my God, her voice, I swear to God, it must have been an angel. They must have went up to heaven, brought down an angel, and made her voice Belle Dandy, because there is no way that was a real person. I fell in love. And of course, number 1 should be no surprise, and that is Yakumo Sakamoto from School Rumble. She is truly a saint. This girl cares deeply about others. She puts the welfare of others before herself. She is just a caring individual, and I just love her so much. I mean, she is caring, thoughtful, loving, nurturing, smart, helpful, kind-hearted, anything you could think about. She is this character. She is such a good character, such a kind character. And she is so devoted to her sister to the point where I actually think she would sacrifice her very own life for her sister. And we get a really strong and well fleshed out development between the two, understanding where they came from and how their relationship ended up the way that it is now. Because at first, Yakumo really didn't like Tenma. The way that Yakumo felt about Tenma was the same way that we all felt about Tenma. And just to see how their relationship grew to be something more than it is, it just was so heart-wrenching and brought tears to my eyes, and it just shows the loving nature of Yakumo. Not only does she have a strong relationship with Tenma, but she also has a very strong relationship with Harima, to the point where she will actually go out of her way to help him. There are many times in the series where she does go out of her way so that she can assist Harima in some way, shape, or form, and she just cares so unconditionally for him that I really wish that they ended up together, and I really wish that Harima saw this because she was so caring. It breaks my heart to this day how Harima failed to see the unconditional love that Yakumo presented to him. And lastly, she is just so beautiful and so gorgeous. Remember how I said earlier that out of all the girls on the list I would date Haru Suzumiya? You're probably wondering why not date Yakumo since you praise her so much. It's because I don't think I would ever be worthy for a girl like Yakumo. She is just too good for me. So good. I mean, she makes me look like a douchebag, makes me look like an asshole, and that's why I wouldn't want to ruin something like Yakumo. I don't want to bring her down to my level. She's just so good. And I gotta give props to Caitlin Glass, who does a phenomenal job portraying the voice of Yakumo, putting all the emotions, putting all of the feeling in her voice. She does a fantastic job, and it is literally the best role I've ever heard her in. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, Yakumo is the best female anime character I've ever seen in an anime. So those are my choices of the top 10 best females I've seen in anime. And let me know, who are the top 10 best females in your opinion? Which ones did you really love? Which ones would you go on a date with? Comment below, let me know, and stay tuned for the final chapter of my top 10 best and worst anime characters with my top 10 best male anime characters. Till then, hit that subscribe button, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Watley from the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace YouTube.